please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to a Megon 2 Electric Boogaloo. Today we're going to be doing a article response. We don't do that very often here, but it's something of interest that I find fascinating enough on the face of it as it leads to a discussion about personal choice, right? Personal choice is vitally important to all life, in the sense that if you want to do something for yourself, for whatever reason you choose to do it, is it anyone else's business? The answer should be no, right? However, as the nature of everything seems to change in society, i.e. employment, which was certainly exacerbated during the time of COVID, with a lot of people going online, and the fact that there are many newer forms of entertainment, like the NPC crap on TikTok, people are finding more or less creative ways of making that valued coin. All electronic, of course, because why have cash, right? I like cash. So I saw the article in passing via a news app thing on my desktop titled "The Gen Z Women Turning Their Backs on Hard Work for, quote, lazy girl jobs." Underneath is an image of TikTok. And I won't deny, the very first one they're saying, "Your lazy girl era, the job advice none is telling women," fascinates me. If only I could be asked to go and find it. The second one, "I love a lazy girl job because all I do is copy and paste, 1 hour break, max 5 emails a day, 3 walks a day during my shift, 2 happy hours a week, little supervision, good money, boost my CV, and excellent company." Well, this is interesting. Do men get an option like this? Or is this that more equality everyone's been told so much about? The article begins by talking about Gabrielle Judge, who finished university in 2019 and got a job at a software company in the tech industry. She had studied Computer and Information Systems Security, a subject most parents would consider to be a good bet for securing a well-paying, steady job. After 18 months of working long hours, Gabrielle burnt out and decided to quit her job. She then found a lazy girl job, which is what Gen Z is calling reasonably paid jobs that are not demanding. You know what's fascinating to me is that for years, those bedroom feminists from the time of the anti-SJW era were talking about how important it was for equality in the workplace, parity of esteem. And many people said, yes, but if given the choice, many women will choose the easier option because they don't actually want the stress and they can't handle that kind of stress. That's not to say guys can, it's just that there is a bit of toxic masculinity involved, right? In the sense that some guys will just do it cause. I'm not saying they have a willpower, more they really don't care enough, or they have responsibilities that they're unwilling to break away from. But the original point of, if given the choice, some, with all that equality in the world, will choose the easier path because that is what they want. And that is perfectly fine, by the way, male or female. Or other if you are one of those people. That's not to try and dehumanize you, don't be that person. If you are that person, fuck off. Bye. I think most of you get the point though. And it's a point that still stacks up and stands the test of time. Young women have taken to bragging about these jobs on TikTok, where videos with the hashtag #LazyGirlJobs hashtag have gone viral, amassing millions of views, which by the way, mean diddly squat in the grand scheme of things. Like YouTube Shorts, you make sod all from it, it doesn't really do anything for you, it might boost your brand, but you have to be present elsewhere to be able to actually make anything from it. I saw a tweet recently from Keemstar, where he had said, 2023, a wild year. 2023, Twitch streamers just react to YouTube videos. Because that's all they do, they're lazy bastards. 2023, YouTubers just clip Twitch streamers. 2023, TikTokers get millions of followers and still complete random nobodies. 2023, Twitter account posting bum fights make more money than anyone. Oh, and everyone gets to F Adam22's wife. No thank you. I know where that's been. Tyrone annihilated. But back to the TikToker getting millions of followers, and views you could argue, and still, who are they? Really, who are they? Some are shops, they sell stuff, tat no doubt, like that Temu app, yeah, that's taken over from Wish and all the other ones. Right. But no one actually gives a damn because it's TikTok. The only thing to come from that I find fascinating is the fact that TikTok is cancer for people who think of themselves as being something more than what they really are. Ideas above their station, if you know what I mean. Where narcissistic personality disorder is given a breeding ground for one-upmanship. Because everything has to be, I'm better than you at something. Suffering is the usual one. Although, finding out that Pimp Monk, formerly a YouTuber, now King Beard on TikTok, has over 1 million followers actually warms my heart a bit, because his Siminimin roll TikTok video was exceedingly amusing. Go find him if you can. King Beard something, I can't remember, and I didn't save it. What a shame. Back to the article though. The term often refers to menial technical office jobs that can be done remotely, while work from home was quite popular. One TikTok user shares a video of herself sitting in front of a computer and writes, "I was born for lazy girl jobs. I get paid a bomb salary to talk to no one, take breaks whenever I want, and be the office baddie." Another then says that she copy and pastes everything you saw in the second image. The third describes leaving whenever she's done for the day and taking as many breaks as she needs. For these Gen Z women, it is a point of pride to be paid well, to perform the bare minimum, ordering food whenever they want and scrolling through socials, as one TikTok user puts it. In the case of Gabrielle Judge, she says she found a job as a technical account manager at a major tech company in the US, which involved a minimal amount of work during the week. Quote, "I wanted to find a job that's still somewhat using my degree and it's paying well, but it's not completely mentally draining and constantly using my brain because I wanted to build out my own business and be a content creator." She says she realized she couldn't pursue her dreams if she spent 50 hours a week at work, and believes she and other Gen Z women are questioning the values of a culture where one's identity and happiness is based on work. Quote, "With everything going remote over the last 3 years, people are more susceptible to a different message these days. You're right. That's why social media influencer is considered an occupation now. Again, the market's shifted and changed. It's good that you found an occupation that has reduced strain on your brain. Yes, nothing wrong with that in the slightest. The fact it's considered a lazy girl job is quite fascinating to me, because that speaks volumes about the laziness of each generation that seem to have become weaker and weaker as the decades go by. That is how it is perceived as an outsider, who look upon it and think, actually, you guys need to just sack up. Which is what many perceive this as. No point saying, "Oh, I don't." Of course you don't. That doesn't mean that everyone thinks the same way you do. Thank you for contributing. The article continues by talking about roots in the anti-work movement. Gabrielle was one of those who made significant life changes and discovered the anti-work movement, which gained traction during the pandemic. Just the thing, anti-work movement as a name comes across as something beyond lazy. The lack of desire to be a part of society yet expect society to cater, right? "I'm all in favour of doing minimal effort to make as much as you can," says the guy who works full-time, about 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, "because I like working. I haven't gotten to the stage yet where I want a lazy girl job. Although it could be argued what I do is lazy man work. Yes, sure. If any women have a voice like mine, feel free to question them." The segment on anti-work movement at the end says, "The anti-work movement is not against all work, but is hostile towards jobs as they are structured under capitalism and the state, exploitative economic relations and hierarchical social relations in the workplace." You mean like having a boss, as opposed to you being your own boss, which is defined as self-employed? Huh, who'd imagined it? Anti-work supporters believe in working only as much as needed and self-organizing to protect their interests, because they need time, everyone, to play WoW. Others go further though, describing most jobs as unnecessary, lol, and designed to enforce wage slavery and deprive workers of the full value of their output. Right, I'd agree with you more if it wasn't for the fact that the example used in the article, Gabrielle, is present on TikTok, trying to grow on social media. Bitch, get on YouTube. That's where it's at. Be your own boss, if you really want to be, on a platform that would actually help you to be something more than just a crappy TikToker. Additionally, people who typically believe in this kind of bollocks are typically those who get fired from jobs because they can't respect another person's authority. You're so fragile, you don't like it when someone tells you what to do, you don't like that someone's paid more than you for doing a supervisory job over you, You don't like that you're overworked and underpaid, which is most employment anyway. So you think that you can control the cards, right? The table is yours. Work from home was a novelty during COVID. COVID was a pain in the ass. I like that the nature of employment has changed to allow for things like this, of course. But you have to answer to somebody if you work for a company, unless you're a freelancer or you are self-employed. So the entire idea of anti-work support is bollocks. The next section is called Backlash Against Girl Boss and Hustle Culture, where Gabrielle Judge says girl boss culture started off as an empowering thing. It was to improve conditions for women in the workplace and to create more pride for career-focused women and representation. It started off with good intentions, but started to get very extreme. Since we're in late-stage capitalism, younger women are starting to see that that's not the right choice either. A girl boss is a 21st century working woman whose success is defined in opposition to the masculine business world in which she swims upstream. This is according to the #GirlBoss author Sophia Amoruso. Although meant to be empowering, this brand of feminism has been criticized for failing to address structural inequalities in the workplace and valorizing overworking and hustle culture. Gabrielle also says that Gen Z is also questioning a culture that has often led to women working long hours at their jobs on top of handling a large proportion of childcare and housework. That can easily be reduced down to one word: consequences. Yes, people don't seem to understand that. Judge says a common assumption when people first hear about lazy girl jobs is the young woman who's seeking them out are lazy. Quote, "There is a huge misconception that it's just young girls that don't want to work, and that's not necessarily it. It could be a lot of life changes happening, and they may need to take the gas pedal off of this hustle culture. They could have other career interests as a whole that they want to explore outside of the time that they're not working, and maybe not be completely drained. They could have other goals like family stuff or are taking care of somebody." She herself claims to have been criticized for focusing on women, but says this is because she can only speak to the feminine experience. That's because when men talk about this, do you know what people tell them? Get the fuck over it, you fucking pussy! She also says that a third of her followers are male and are interested in lazy girl jobs. Quote, "I don't see an issue with women giving other women financial and career advice." How that relates, I don't know. The article continues then to talk about other individuals who have embraced the lazy girl job. And that's quite interesting. It really is. But it is considered a passing fad, as in this is something that constantly changes as the hustle adapts to newer markets rising and falling, plateauing at some point, but the plateau is getting shorter. Hence why I mentioned right at the start, NPCs. Female versions of that meme make phenomenal amounts of money. The guys look like they belong on a register. And that's another disparity in the workplace. I may say, you should be addressing that, of course. Because of the mentality I have when it comes to employment, I will hold the same view. You get what you get out of life by either working or not. You get what you deserve, essentially. If you work hard, hard work pays off. I truly believe that. I do not believe hopping onto these fads is a healthy way about it. It is very dangerous and also sets you up for failure. Now, of course, you have a belief system that doesn't stand in favor of capitalism, yet you are willing to use it to get advantages in life. No hypocrisy there, folks. There's never hypocrisy in this. However, while I can't hate the player for choosing the hustle, I'm allowed to criticize you because your justification for it is bollocks, quite frankly. And you know I'm right. You claim the stress of the career you got into is too much for you. It's called a consequence of your own actions. You chose that career and then realized you weren't cut out for it. How is this some big philosophical point to you? Quite frankly, Gabrielle Judge is a tragic case of somebody who was not able to do what they originally set out to do and simply chose a different path, but had to make it seem like a bigger point and larger statement. A statement it is most certainly not. Why? Because you're just hopping on trends to make easy money, just to make enough so you can go do other things. Because, responsibilities, and it's all on you because you only have the feminine experience to speak about, but don't worry, the guys won't anyway because the guys are busy working the jobs that you can't do. If that sounded sexist, that sounds an awful lot like a misinterpretation of my original point, but by all means, make it in the comments. Drive up the engagement, sub if you're new, unless you hated the video, in which case definitely sub.